Stow Munroe Falls City School District Board of Education will vote to call the meeting to order. Those in attendance are reminded that this is a meeting of the board conducted in view of the public. Comments from the public during this meeting amount to the obstruction of a public meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this point, there is a need to appoint a treasurer pro tem. I move that Jerry Bedio serve as a treasurer pro tem. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a discussion? Ms. Bedio, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mr. Bonacci.
Here.
Ms. Matthews.
Here.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Ms. Bedio. Aye.
Ms. Bedio, would you please call the roll for the roll call?
Mr. Bonacci.
Here.
Ms. Matthews.
Here.
Mr. Armstrong.
Here.
Ms. Powers.
Here.
Ms. Bedio. Here.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda as presented to the board members?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Ms. Bedio, please call the roll.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Ms. Matthews.
Aye.
Ms. Bedio. Aye. Mr. Bonacci.
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong.
Aye. Because the board has the need for 2 executive sessions, I move that the board recess into 2 executive sessions for the purposes of 1, considering the employment, dismissal, and discipline of a public employee, and 2, conferences with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are the subject of pending imminent court action. Information to be discussed during this executive session is confidential. As such, preserving confidentiality is necessary for the conduct of the board's business and is therefore subject to non-disclosure requirements of RC 102.03B. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Ms. Bedio, please call the roll.
Mr. Bonacci.
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Ms. Matthews.
Aye.
Ms. Bedio. Aye.
The time is 5:33. Are now recessed into executive session. Okay, the time is now 5:43, and we are now out of executive sessions. During the February 10th, 2015 special meeting of the board conducted its first reading of the resolution to amend the bylaws 0156 and 0174. Today, the board is reading this resolution for the second time. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution to amend the bylaws 0156 and 0174?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Ms. Bedio, roll call, please.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Ms. Matthews.
No.
Ms. Bedio. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mr. Bonacci.
Aye.
Motion passed.
While the board firmly believes that any pre-discipline, pre-termination conference meeting before the board should be held in executive session to protect the interests of all employees, including Ms. Baldwin, the board will honor any demand from Ms. Baldwin that she have the opportunity to be heard as to the allegations contained in the February 10, 2015 letter provided to her by the board in open session rather than in executive session. This is not an RC 3319.16 hearing. Ms. Baldwin, Are you demanding that you have the opportunity to be heard as to the allegations contained in the February 10th, 2015 letter provided to you by the board in open session rather than executive session?
As legal counsel for Catherine Baldwin, for the record, Jack Morrison, she's demanding this matter be held in public, given the fact that the board saw fit to make public the February 10th, 2015 letter containing the allegations that she's now being asked to confront.
As Ms. Baldwin is demanding that she have the opportunity to be heard as to the allegations contained in the February 20th, 2015 letter provided to her by the board in open session rather than executive session, the board will proceed in open session. Ms. Baldwin, a table has been set up for you and your counsel to sit so you can be heard. You are also being provided with a copy of the February 20th, 2015 letter that was provided to you by the board for your convenience. The open session is being videotaped. This tape will need to be changed approximately every 45 minutes. The videographer will inform everyone 5 minutes before that he needs to change the tape, so Ms. Baldwin and her counsel can prepare to stop so that the tape may be changed. I will call a brief recess while the tape is being changed. Once the tape is changed, I will declare that we are back into open session. Ms. Baldwin and her counsel will then resume. The purpose of this pre-discipline, pre-termination conference meeting is to provide Ms. Baldwin the opportunity to be heard as to the allegations contained in the February 20th, 2015 letter provided to her by the board. I will read each allegation to Ms. Baldwin individually. Ms. Baldwin will then be given the opportunity to be heard as to each allegation individually through her counsel, herself, or both.
Rod.
Ms. Baldwin,
Rod.
paragraph.
It's February 10, 2015.
Oh. February 10th, 2015. Yes. I'm sorry. Ms. Baldwin will then be given the opportunity to hear. Ms. Baldwin, paragraph 1 alleges that you failed to attend the January 20th, 2015 regular board meeting. You failed to advise the board president that you would not attend the January 20th, 2015 regular board meeting. You failed to enter your absence into the ASOP for January 20th, 2015 as mandated by Board Resolution 08-15, Standing Resolution number 13, January 5th, 2015. On January 22nd, 2015 at 3:21 p.m., your attorney sent the board's attorney an email attaching a doctor's excuse for your failure to attend the January 20th, 2015 regular board meeting. And your attorney was promptly directed to follow the proper leave procedures. There is no dispute that you caused Christy Stolkoff to enter a sick day for you for the date of January 21st, 2015 on ASOP so that the date is a proper excusal. Your conduct violates Board Policy 08-15, Standing Resolution number 13, Board Policy 1320, in your employment contract, and constitutes good and just cause for discipline or termination under RC 3319.16. Please respond.
Yes, Jack Morrison and Christine Ferranda, counsel for Catherine Baldwin, who is present. I'm going to deliver to the board a written response, and we will provide further response. I'm giving the original to the board president, copies to counsel, and copies to each board member. In response to the initial allegation, on January 19th, 2015, Catherine Baldwin was presented with a Loudermill letter that was made public by attorney Matt Markling and select members of the school board, wherein, among other things, Ms. Baldwin was falsely accused of financial improprieties by stating as a fact that she had paid herself a lump sum payment for her supplemental compensation in violation of her employment contract and board policy. This statement was made public by Mr. Markling and select members of the board. It was slanderous, malicious, willful, wanton, and purposely directed at making Ms. Baldwin the target of public ridicule and embarrassment. As the chief financial officer of the school district, she has taken great pride in her service to the school district, to the community, and has done so with utmost integrity and honesty. Mr. Markling and select board members' decision to publicly accuse her of financial wrongdoing devastated her beyond words. She was both physically and emotionally sick. The following day, she attended a doctor's appointment for the humiliation, harassment, and hostile environment that has been created and continues by the acts and conduct of Mr. Markling and select members of the board. She obtained a doctor's excuse for her January 20th, 2015 absence, which was provided to Mr. Markling as he is the board's attorney. Her absence was also entered into the ASOP system. Prior to January 19th, 2015, the Loudermill letter, she had been advised that she should stay home and that her presence at the board offices was not wanted. This allegation represents a continued effort by Mr. Markling and select members of the school board to harass her, intimidate her, threaten her, bully her, and attempt to force her to leave her job. The conduct is willful, wanton, and malicious, for which the individuals are personally liable for both compensatory damages and punitive damages. She has not violated any board policy nor her employment contract.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 1?
We would reserve the right to supplement this response once we have been provided with a complete copy of the public records that were issued on her request. I might note that we have received a partial response which contained some 165 pages of her personnel record, and within those documents there is not a single piece of paper documenting any deficiency of any kind at any time in the performance of her duties as treasurer. To the contrary, her personnel file documents multiple achievements and awards that she has received in connection with her service to the Stow Munroe Falls school system.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 1?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Baldwin, paragraph 2 alleges that you attended the January 27th special board meeting and insisted on performing your duties as a treasurer CFO in violation of your assignment to home, which began on January 21st, 2015. Paragraph 2 of the resolution assigning you to work at home provides in pertinent part that if the treasurer believes that there are job duties which she cannot complete while assigned to work at home, the treasurer shall contact the board president in writing to make arrangements so the job duties can be completed in a timely manner. You have yet to contact the board president in writing to state that any of your job duties cannot be performed at home and to make arrangements so that your duties can be completed in a timely manner. In fact, paragraph 3 of the resolution assigning you to work at home addresses your attending board meetings in your official capacity as a treasurer CFO and provides that the treasurer shall not attend in person any meetings or special meetings of the board. The treasurer has the option of attending such meetings via telephone solely for the purpose of calling the meeting to order, recording board members' votes, and taking meeting minutes. If the treasurer elects to join in board meetings by telephone, the treasurer shall notify the board president in writing in at least 24 hours prior to the meeting, so that the board may take the necessary steps to facilitate the same. You are aware of the fact that you may attend board meetings and district events in your individual capacity, as evidenced by the fact that you properly attended the February 3rd, 2015 regular board meeting in your individual capacity. Your attendance at the January 27th, 2015 special board meeting and insistence on performing your duties as a treasurer's CFO violates your assignment to work at home, Board Policy 1320 in your employment contract, and constitutes good and just cause for discipline or termination under RC 3319.6. Please respond.
As to allegation number 2, this allegation goes to the very heart of Ms. Baldwin's claim that Mr. Markling, in his individual capacity, and select members of the board in their individual capacity, have taken steps to violate Ms. Baldwin's civil rights by telling her that she was not entitled to attend a public meeting of a public body. She did attend the meeting and performed her duties as treasurer CFO without objections by Mr. Markling or any board member. In fact, during the board meeting, the board president relied upon the treasurer for the roll call and other duties incident to the treasurer. She had every right to attend the public meetings of public bodies, and your designation of this activity as a cause for termination is a further violation of her civil rights. She has not violated any board policy nor her employment contract.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 2?
Yes, we reserve the right to supplement our response to this allegation once we have received complete copies of all documents responsive to the public records request that was previously served to this board by her attorney that now is delinquent.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 2?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Baldwin, paragraph 3 alleges that you obstructed school board business in a public meeting by demanding that the board not enter into executive sessions during its January 27th, 2015 special board meeting, in spite of the fact that you were well aware that your pre-discipline, pre-termination conference meeting with the board was scheduled for January 29th, 2015. This conduct amounts to a violation of Board Policy 1320 in your employment contract and constitutes good and just cause for discipline or termination under revised RC 3319.16. Please respond.
As to allegation number 3, this allegation is a further violation of Ms. Baldwin's civil rights and her Ohio statutory rights under Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22. During the board meeting of January 27, 2015, both Ms. Baldwin and her attorney informed the board that pursuant to Section 121.22, Section G1, that if the purpose of the executive session was to discuss any aspect of Ms. Baldwin's employment, she was entitled to have the matter presented at a public hearing. Apparently, the board's attorney, Mr. Markling, and or members of the board are unfamiliar with Section G1, which reads as follows. To consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public official, public employee, official, licensee, regulated individual, unless the public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual requests a public hearing. Clearly, Ms. Baldwin had every statutory right to request a public hearing, and the refusal to afford her a public hearing was a violation of her statutory rights and her civil rights. She has not violated board policy nor her employment contract.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 3?
We would reserve the right to supplement our response to this allegation once the board has complied with the public records request issued to the board by Ms. Baldwin's attorney that is now delinquent.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 3?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Baldwin, paragraph 4 alleges that while taking a recess during your January 29th, 2015 pre-discipline, pre-termination conference meeting with the board, you caused at least one school district copier to be used to copy your 10-page personal letter.
You guys.
response,
You're gonna spend money doing
response
this?
and cause copies of your Loudon letter to be distributed to everyone in the audience attending the January 29th, 2015 special board meeting. To be clear, there is nothing wrong with the act of distributing documentation to the public at a board meeting. However, as the treasurer CFO, you know full well that causing school property to be used for your personal purpose is a misuse of school property. Your conduct amounts to a violation of board policy 1320 in your employment contract and constitutes good and just cause for discipline or termination under RC 3319.16. Please respond.
As to allegation number 4, on January 29, 2015, Ms. Baldwin presented to the board a public document entitled Loudermill Letter Response. Once presented to the board, that document became a public document. During the recess, several members of the public in attendance at the meeting requested copies of the public record. As treasurer, Ms. Baldwin made copies of the public record and delivered it to those individuals in the public requesting said document. This allegation is spurious and is yet another attempt to manufacture claims against Ms. Baldwin in a willful, wanton, and malicious attempt to fabricate reasons for wrongfully terminating her employment contract. As treasurer, when asked to provide copies of public documents, it is part of her duties to include delivering said documents. Ms. Baldwin has not violated board policy nor her employment contract. To the contrary, she complied with a lawful public records request by members of the public who requested copies of an otherwise public document.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 4?
Yes, Ms. Baldwin will reserve the right to supplement her response to this allegation if and when the Stow Munroe Falls School Board responds to the public records request previously delivered by her attorney, which is now delinquent.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 4?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Baldwin, paragraph 5 alleges you stated that your legal counsel in writing in the open session of the January 29, 2015 special board meeting that your key card somehow went missing in late August of 2014. Your key card has access to every building in the Stow Munroe Falls City School District and is a major security breach. Regardless of the fact that you continue to use your card until September 4th, 2014, you failed to report your key card as missing until January 29th, 2015. Your conduct amounts to a violation of board policy 1320 in your employment contract and constitutes good and just cause for discipline or termination under RC 3319.16. Please respond.
As to allegation number 5, this is a matter that was previously addressed in Ms. Baldwin's response to the initial Loudermill letter. The statement contained in allegation number 5 is a gross misstatement. Therefore, Ms. Baldwin will rest on the response that she previously provided on January 29, 2015 as part of her Loudermill letter response.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 5?
Ms. Baldwin reserves the right to supplement her response to this allegation until such time as she has received a full and complete response to the public records request previously served on this board by her attorney that is now delinquent.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 5?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Baldwin, paragraph 6 alleges that you stated through your legal counsel and in writing in open session of the January 29, 2015 special board meeting that Amy Conrad falsified her time at some unspecified period. Both Ms. Conrad and Dr. Russell D. Jones deny the allegation that Ms. Conrad falsified her time. for any period. The board does not believe your allegation. Nonetheless, to the extent you actually believe this allegation to be true, you were required to bring this matter to the attention of the board. Instead, you paid the time which you are now asserting to have been falsified. Your conduct amounts to a violation of board policy 11320 in your employment contract and constitutes good and just cause for discipline or termination under RC 3319.16. Please respond.
As to allegation number 6, Ms. Baldwin stands by the response that she previously provided in her January 29, 2015 letter entitled Loudermill Letter Response.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 6?
Yes, she reserves the right to supplement her response if and when she receives the public documents that were requested by her attorney from the board that are now delinquent.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 6?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Baldwin, paragraph 7 alleges that you stated through your legal counsel in writing in open session of the January 29, 2015 special board meeting that Amy Conrad and Mark Fritz are engaged in unidentified certain activities behind locked doors. You are clearly alleging that Ms. Conrad and Mr. Fritz are engaged in immoral, improper, and illegal activities. Are both Ms. Conrad and Ms. Fritz deny your allegations? Dr. Jones does not believe your allegations. The board does not believe your allegations. Nonetheless, to the extent you actually believed these allegations to be true, you were required to bring these allegations to the attention of the board or the district's anti-harassment compliance officers and civil rights coordinators, which you did not do. Your conduct amounts to a violation of board policy 1320 in your employment contract and constitutes good and just cause for discipline or termination under RC 3319.16. Please respond.
As to allegation number 7, as documented in the February 10, 2015 letter, it is a gross mischaracterization of what Ms. Baldwin believes or doesn't believe. She stands by the response that she previously provided on January 29, 2015 in the document entitled Loudermill Letter Response.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 7?
Yes, Ms. Baldwin reserves the right to provide further responses to this allegation at such time as she receives a full and complete response to the public records request that was made by her attorney on her behalf that is now delinquent.
Do you have anything else to say with respect to paragraph 7?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Because the board has a need for one executive session, I move that the board recess into one executive session for the purpose of considering the employment, dismissal, and discipline of a public employee. Information to be discussed during this executive session is confidential. As such, preserving confidentiality is necessary for the conduct of the board's business and is therefore subject to the non-disclosure requirements of RC 102.103. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there just any discussion? Ms. Bedio, please call roll.
Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Ms. Matthews?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Ms. Bedio? Aye.
At this time, the time is 6:09, and we are now recessed into executive session. The time is 6:57, and we are now out of executive session. This time, I'd like a motion for the resolution to consider termination of the treasurer CFO's employment contract. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion, please.
Well, once again, I just will repeat myself. I have to thank Kathy Holgren for her service. We've had wonderful years together. She's worked hard, helping us pass levies, helping us know how much money we have, how much money we need. Hard worker, integrity, and I just have to thank her for her service, and I'm sorry this is happening, period.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mr. Benacci.
Aye.
Ms. Bedio. Aye. Ms. Matthews.
No.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Motion's passed.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So, second.
Is there any discussion? Ms. Bedio, roll call, please.
Ms. Matthews.
Aye.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Benacci.
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Ms. Bedio. Aye.
The time is now 6:58, and it is now adjourned.